Alright, so we needed a way to feed our horses when we went out of town, and online there was no automatic feeders that were in our budget. Did some research, found people started using deer feeders as horse feeders, but nobody really showing how they made them. So we came up with our way of. It's a 10-gallon automatic shaker feeder hooked to a feed bucket and 4-inch PVC pipe. The feeder we are using is this shakedown multi-attachment or attractant feeder, 10-gallon capacity. I believe it is by On Time. It allows you to do up to 6 feed times per day, 1 to 30 seconds run time. The rain skirt included. I'm not really using that. Got all these features on it. You can use those if you're actually feeding deer with it. But like I said, we were using it for horses. So anyways, that was our feeder that we're using for one horse. We have 2 horses, so I will show you how I did how I put it together. This is the feeder, straight out of the box. Comes with a handle to hang it. There's the bucket. There's the lid with the timer attached in it. You got to buy a battery separate, which is sold separately. Not too expensive though. So no modifications, real modifications are needed to put this together. Just put it together how it tells you to put it together. You attach the handle inside this bag. You'll see these legs. Not too sure what they're for. I guess more to kind of guide to where the feed's going to go. It shows by the box. For my application, that's the only modification I guess you can use. The bucket itself, we'll screw it. They'll screw into the bucket. You'll see there's 3 of them. So let's get it assembled. Alright, there's the 3 legs assembled on it. Again, only thing I'm using them for is to attach the bucket. So, but just make sure that you put them on the way the instructions tell you to. There are washers that come with it. I highly recommend putting the washers on. On the first one, I didn't put them on and noticed it was kind of about to pull through the plastic. So went back, redid all that. Next, we have the handle. Pretty simple again, just 2 bolts, put the washers on, and yeah. Alright, the bucket I'm using, 7.6 liter or 8 quart bucket, typical feed bucket by USA, American, absolutely. Typically comes with a handle, cut it off so it sits flush on the bottom of this thing. And yeah, now let's attach it. Screws that I'm using, self-drilling screws, stainless steel. Easy to drill through the plastic and also through the metal. So works better than having to worry about a nut and bolt. Because truthfully, you probably couldn't get a nut and bolt on there at all. So this is the only, probably the only way you can get it done. Alright, bucket is attached. 3 places, as mentioned before. So next, we'll drill the hole in the top, and we'll attach a sanitary pipe flange. 4-inch hole saw attached to just a regular drill. Helps you find the center of it. Drill your hole. And there's your hole. In hindsight, probably should have drilled the hole first. Didn't think about that on this one, nor did I think about it on that one. It did the same thing. It does leave little shards in there, so before you feed your horses, be sure you get all that out of there. But next, coming up next, installing the flange. And this is the flange. Like I said, it's a sanitary flange typically used for attaching toilets, but repurposed for this occasion to attach more piping so that we can direct the feed to where we want it to go. So it's on just like that. See, it fits pretty well over that. Fits perfectly inside this ring. It may not fit so well in other buckets depending on the brand you get. So got 4 holes here, there, there, and there, which we'll attach with bolts like so. So let's get that attached. And flange is attached. Couldn't find the bolts that I had bought for it, so went with the same screws I use here. Still works. We'll probably have to go back and get the right bolts, but for the time being, voila. Pipe that I'm using, typical 4-inch Schedule 40 pipe, PVC pipe. First cuts are usually about 4 inches to connect the flange to the elbows. So let's make those cuts. All right, pipes are cut 4 inches each. Probably need typically you probably only need one if you can find the 45-degree elbow. But since they didn't have a 45-degree elbow at the store I was at, you can see I used two 22.5-degree elbows. That's why I got an extra piece there. Of course, the piece down there, and then you got to cut the longer piece. Longer piece you'll cut to your length. Depends on how far down or how high up you mount your bucket, how far down you want your feed bucket is. For ours, it's going to be closer to the ground, so ours is kind of long. So that one's a judgment call on your end, but I guess cut it how you need to cut it. All right, there you go. There's the flanges, or the flange on there, the elbows, little PVC pipes in between, totaling 45 degrees. One thing left now is to put the silicone around the base of it, like I did here, because it does leave a gap. So, and gaps, rodents can get into, moisture can get into, any of that stuff. Obviously, don't want to get that, so seal it up. All right, this is the lid. There's already got a little programmer mounted in it. Spot for the battery to mount in it. Battery connects with these 2 gator clips. Battery, 6-volt battery. Little springs on top. Slides in like so. And connect your gator clips. Program comes on. Again, like it said on the box, has 6 programs available. Pops up, you set your time of day. For me, it is 6:55 p.m. Push the button, hold it, and eventually get to 6:55 p.m. Okay, so by the time I got to it, it was 6:57 p.m., so time is set. Feed time. First feed time. For us, we're going to start doing 4 feeds, or 3 feeds a day. So we'll do one at 8 o'clock. Hit your enter button. Run time. It took me some trial and error on this one, but I found 10 seconds works for me. 100% works for the speed. And on the feed 2. On time feed 2, we're going to do 1 o'clock. We're doing every 5 hours. So enter again, 10 seconds, 100%. Feed 3, we're going to do 6 o'clock. Again, it's going to take some time. I'll be back with you. Alright, so we got it at 6 o'clock, and this one here is showing off. It's if you don't want to do more than, if you don't want to do another feed, so I don't want to do 2 feeds instead of 3 like I'm doing here, leave it off and it'll go automatically to your next, or back to saying armed. I'll show you that in a second. And you only have 2 feeds, but for us, again, we're going to do 3 feeds. So set this up to 10 seconds, and again 100%, just to show you it goes down by 25% or down to 50%. So you got 175.50, but after trial and error, found that 100%, 10 seconds works for us. Gives us an actual 1 scoop of feed, which is what we feed our horses. And that's how I landed on the speed and, or the time and speed for us. Again, hit enter, pulls up 4. You'll see at a second, it'll say off. And if I don't want to do it again, hit it again. You see it says armed. Now saying time is 7 o'clock. Check my time. It is 7 o'clock. So we're good there. So now it's armed and ready to go. You gotta plug it into the actual hopper. Plug it coming out of the hopper. Goes into there. And we're gonna test on it if you'd like. Let's see what it does. Alright. Wire's hooked up. Battery's all hooked up. Forgot to mention there's a bar that holds the battery in. Once you secure it down, it pinches these 2 pieces together. Really secures it in there, won't go anywhere. And then, so you can run a test on it. Basically all it does is a little countdown from 10 seconds. 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. You hear it coming, that's shaking for you. And at that point this feed is being spread out and going through the PVC pipe and coming out into your bucket. So now, I do want to give a shout out to Rural King. They are not paying me for this, but I do appreciate their business. I guess I'm giving them my business, but they've had all this stuff in stock. The hopper, feeder, hopper, bucket, the PVC pipe, the fittings, the screws, everything. They're kind of a one-stop shop for a redneck or a horse guru or anybody that needs any kind of work done. They're my new favorite store for sure. Just moved to this area though, so my old place, old home in Florida didn't have any, had Rural King. But here in Virginia, there's a Rural King right up the road from my house, and we have probably doubled their profits since we've moved here. So, shout out again to Rural King. They are the best. Good employees as well.